we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you a special presentation of
Two Nerds, a podcast. Your home for everything movies, music, video games, and everything in between. With your hosts, Bunny the Bruiser, and Dynamite Jared Latching.
How's it going, everyone? We are Two Nerds. This is a podcast. The boys are back. I am one of your humble hosts, Bunny the Bruiser.
And I'm hijacking this video, or this podcast, and turning it into an ASMR
I was wondering what you're doing with that in your hand. No! So, we are trekking through...
Dynamite! Jared!
Damn. The boys are back. Season 3 of the podcast.
And we're bringing it back in everyone's favorite Two Nerds a Podcast month of all time. That's right. We are back in Cocktober 2018.
2K18.
That's right. And we are not doing sexiest presidents this year. No. But we're back with more Cocktober. The best month to bring it back is the month of horror movies, the month of cocks,
Yes.
the month of just all the things that the Two Nerds...
We love. Everything we love.
We bring it...
Cocks, horror movies, and pumpkin spice lattes. Everything we need right here in Cocktober.
And you know what?
Have you ever had a pumpkin spice latte?
I bet you I have.
They are delightful.
I don't like coffee, so... but I do like cappuccino.
Yeah?
So I'd probably have a
That
pumpkin
is
spice cappuccino.
Good.
But regardless, you know, every year we start to get a little burned out. We get a little burned out on Two Nerds a Podcast, and so we take a break. And then it's always Cocktober that just pulls us back in. Pulls us back in right by the cocks. Just grabs us by the cock and pulls us back in.
Just when we think we pulled our cock out, they pull it back in.
How can we be family friendly during Cocktober?
We can't. It's impossible.
We're talking about chickens. That's exactly how.
That is exactly.
There's nothing more that we enjoy more than just a cock-a-doodle-doodling cock.
Yes. But I guess we just need to address the elephant in the room here. Our first season break was due to technical difficulties. We were locked out of the studio. The studio was...
We were burned out, though.
We were burned...
I was burned.
But I'm saying that...
I was burned out. I don't know if you were burned out. I was burned out.
This current breakup was a little bit more acrimonious. I must say. We did not speak for 3 months.
With no communication whatsoever. Buddy moved, and I was just like, fuck that guy. I'm not talking to him anymore.
I hope No Star Reviews knows we're being sarcastic about... He's all concerned in the comments. He's like, did they really get in a fight?
Our one and only fan, and let's be honest, we came back for him.
We did come back for him.
We came back for him. Well, I've been trying to satiate his appetite with some Dokkan Battle summoning videos, and he leaves a comment. You know what I mean? He watches the whole video. He'll timestamp something really late in the video and be like, that was great. And I'll be like, man, thank you so much for supporting my content. But I know that it's not even close to the level of a full-bore Cocktober episode of Two Nerds, a Podcast. And Buddy was even considering just coming back for just Cocktober. And I was like, no, we got to do the whole season. We can't just do the damn Cocktober and then be done with it. We got to do season trace.
See, because my reasoning behind that was because I didn't know if we'd be able to get the video done in time to go in front of, okay, season 3 is back. I thought we were just doing 4 episodes, and then that would give us time to do the video, but Jared's like, yeah, we need to push this video out in a week, so...
we need to get this done! Cocktober's coming, and it's too big of a deal. We can't just let it go by, and you know what? Just a Cocktober set of episodes, that would be great. That would be fantastic for everybody, but we wanted it to be the biggest news possible. We wanted it to be season trace.
Yes.
Trace.
Yes.
Trace. There we go. Of Dos Nerds, a podcasto.
Yes.
This is getting slightly racist.
Yes. Mike, if you are watching, you are definitely
He doesn't
not.
listen. He doesn't listen to Two Nerds a podcast. The bastard. He'll only listen. He'll listen now that I'm calling him out.
Yeah.
So the only time he'll listen is if I call him out, and I think it's because Eddie Gankus will like notify him. Like, hey, Cat. Hey, Cat. I'm just thinking about the one time where it's like, I'm listening, Cat. And like on the comment.
It's like, if you're listening, let us know. Just City Cop the band.
It's
Post
like,
a comment.
I'm listening, Cat. I think he'll text Mike and be like, bro, they're calling you out on the podcast again. You might want to leave a comment like, hey, bro, you know. But whatever.
We're back. Enough shooting the shit. We're gonna introduce a new segment to the show. Keeping it fresh for season 3.
Let me tell you something. There's nothing that we do better than keeping the show fresh and just innovating our content and innovating podcasts as a whole.
Yes.
We've just been game changers to the entire podcast scene. Nobody was doing full podcasts on YouTube before us. Okay? And if they were, I sure as fuck didn't notice it until we started doing it. And now we got full Jim Cornette podcasts on YouTube. We got the Solid Monster Sound Off. He does podcasts on YouTube.
And
Rhett and Link. They do the freaking Good Mythical Morning. Got the Ear Biscuits podcast on YouTube. There's
say Geekdom.
Geekdom.
Directly copied us.
Geekdom 101. We're calling you out on Two Nerds a podcast. We know you're listening. We know that.
We know his attorneys are also his affiliates.
We know that your advisors are listening right now, and our advisors have advised us to let you know that we will be issuing a cease and desist warning. We are going to copy strike your podcasts for directly taking our concept of YouTube casts and applying it to your own thing because you couldn't get onto a normal podcast platform.
And you didn't even think of Super Saiyan Godcast. We are the real innovators. And we said that shit in like 2015.
We are game-changing the Dragon Ball podcast, the nerd podcasts, and podcasts in general. Geekdom 101, we would love to have you on the show.
Yes.
If you ever want to come on and talk about Dragon Ball and then catch us slipping. Like, catch us slipping up and, like, saying some shit that's not even really, like, official, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can myth bust.
Because he knows.
You would be able to Dragon Ball myth bust us on the show. Like, we would say something that's been a myth since the 90s that we believe to actually be true. Actually, Toriyama totally debunked that in this interview. You could come on our show, make us look like idiots, and talk about Dragon Ball.
That's totally fine.
But no power scaling, for the love of God. We're not power scalers. And we think that power scaling, I'm going to be honest with you, power scaling is a dead art form.
Yes.
It's gone. It's gone.
Dead.
You could pretend to be a power scaler now to this day, but it's just...
It's too high. Like, it doesn't make any...
It's not even because it's high. It's just so inconsistent that it's not possible. It's not possible anymore in this day and age. And I got a kick out of... he did a video, and I made a tweet about it, but it wasn't a shot at Geekdom 101. I'm not going to fire any shots at Geekdom because I'm a huge fan of his. But in one of his videos, he made a comment about power scalers saying that the new Broly will be stronger than Gogeta Blue. How? Based on what evidence?
There is no evidence because we don't know anything.
Based on the movie that no one has seen other than nobody because the movie's not complete. Based on what? This is based on nothing. The only thing that I could say that is slightly feat is that base form Broly is going at it with Blue Goku in the trailer. And it's only for a split second where they collide. Here's my logic to you right now on that. I guess based on this, they're assuming that base form Broly is
about the same
as Blue Goku, yes. Which I'm going to go ahead and assume is not true at all, because base form Broly ends up transforming into Broly full power to fight Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Why would he do that
If he didn't
if he didn't need to? But regardless,
it is yet to be seen.
We don't know. We don't even know what Gogeta Blue is how powerful he is, because we've never seen Gogeta Blue, and we've never seen Gogeta in a canon Dragon Ball thing, and we've never seen Gogeta Blue.
We've never seen Gogeta Blue.
We've never seen Vegeta and Goku fuse as they currently are at their current power levels. We know that this is post-tournament of power. They are much, 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 much stronger
than they were
when they fought with the last time that they
Yes.
fused.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could see Blue Evolution Gogeta. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, we don't know.
Blue Evolution Gogeta, we could see Ultra Instinct Gogeta.
Yeah.
It could happen. And I'm telling you what right now, if we do a mastered Ultra Instinct Gogeta and somehow Broly smacks that dude,
like, I don't...
then he can't be beaten. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Broly cannot be beaten if he somehow beats...
Unless it's
Ultra
by, like, the
Instinct
fucking,
Gogeta.
like, Grand Priest or some shit. Like,
Yeah.
we don't even know how... Because he could be more powerful than that, because we don't really have confirmation about
There's nothing to base this on. We've gone off into a tangent, but we are introducing a new segment. New segment to the podcast. And
Does it have a name?
There's no name to the segment. There maybe we'll say working title. All right, it's working. We're working on the title for the name of this segment. But basically, what we're going to do now at the beginning of every month and at the end of every month. So, at the beginning of every month, we are going to discuss and talk about some of the movies that are going to be released this month, and which ones we're excited about, which ones we plan on going to see in the theaters, and whatever. Kind of discuss maybe why we're excited about it, whatever. We're just going to talk about that. And then at the end of the month, we're going to come back together. We are going to discuss the movies that we actually did end up going to see in the theaters, and, kind of which ones we liked,
Yes.
which ones we didn't like, which ones were disappointing, which one was the best one.
Yes.
We'll try and narrow it down. So if you guys only want to see one movie a month, we'll try and narrow it down for you.
Yeah.
What movie from Cocktober should you go watch?
Yes.
Or if you just want to see which ones we liked, which ones we didn't like, we'll be discussing it at the end of Cocktober. Now, certain movies.
Such as the new Halloween.
Certain movies such as the new Halloween warrant conversation immediately. We've been hyped about this movie for so long. We've talked about it every opportunity we can get. When this movie releases, the first podcast that comes out post-release of that movie will be basically an episode focused on discussing the new Halloween movie. That'll be like the main gist of that whole episode. We might have Midnight Miles on. We might do that. That won't be the only movie that's special. When Godzilla King of Monsters comes
Obviously,
out, we're going to hop right into Godzilla King of Monsters.
When Broly comes out.
When
When Broly comes out, that's all we're talking about for a month.
no other movies are being talked about in January of 2019. We're going into Broly at the beginning of the month. We're making our bold predictions in the first episode. We're not even going to talk about any of the other January movies. What other January movies are you going to go see? Nothing. January is a terrible month for fucking movies. It always has been. But Broly's coming out in January. We're talking about Broly then. Bold predictions the next week. Broly discussion the next week. And then more Broly discussion the week after that. We might even go into February with our Broly discussion. It's
The Broly Palooza.
It's going to be hype. A Broly-thon. So, with that being said, it is Cocktober. The month of the horror movie and the month
of the cock.
Of the cock, and the month of other movies that are coming out. And so, we're going to hop in right now. We are going to discuss what movies we are excited about for Cocktober. Now, we're going to put a little bit of an asterisk on the first one, because it's actually coming out.
And the last one, because where it's not confirmed. If it's in September, if it's not confirmed if it's in November or October.
So,
asterisks on these first couple ones, because this is our first episode back, so there's some stuff from the end of September that
we
yes.
we want to catch up. Well, there's one thing from the end of September that we want to, unless there's something else that you wanted to bring up.
I mean, LeBron's in Smallfoot, dog.
You know they're doing a free movie night for Smallfoot at the Atlas Cinema in Menor?
Are they really?
Yeah, I think like LeBron's paying for it.
Really?
Yeah, but it's only for
Yes.
qualified families.
Of course. Yes.
So, I mean, basically every family of the I Promise school is probably going to get like a free pass to see Smallfoot. Regardless, Smallfoot, you excited? Cocktober, are we going to be discussing?
To be completely honest, I will probably not see it in theaters, but if I can stream it online at some point, then yeah. No, I'm talking about like once it's out on DVD.
We can't discuss this illegal activity.
I'm not talking about illegal. I'm talking Amazon Prime, Netflix. I'm not talking illegal. I'm not about that shit.
Okay.
Imagine if I got a virus on this computer, just for one moment. Our entire world would collapse. There's no podcasts. There's only Dokkan Battle Summons. That is all there is.
And that's on my channel, by the way. Hop on over to @DynamiteJared. If you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, you're already subscribed to Buddy's channel, so we don't need to plug his stuff. You're there. You are here. And you're listening to this podcast, so I'm going to assume that you're subscribed.
And if not, what are you doing?
Yeah, you subscribe. Just head over 500 subscribers.
Yeah.
Still growing. Support small YouTubers.
Yes.
Whatever the fuck his catchphrase is. I don't know what it is.
I just use the hashtags that everyone else uses, and then sometimes
small
it works.
small YouTuber army. Well, guess what?
No one
I'm talking microscopic YouTuber army. Hop on over to the Dynamite Jared channel.
What is that, solid 26?
26 or 27 now. I just got another one the other day.
Which is surprising because, like, your Godzilla videos and, like, your most recent, like, Dragon Ball video have been getting decent views, but the subscribers are just not there.
They're not liking what they're seeing enough to stick around. I need to keep on pumping out some content that will, like, be like, okay, I've seen a couple videos now. You look at my hair. Is my hair messed up?
I was thinking, like, the viewers click on the video, like, oh, this dude's hairline.
Oh, come on, dude. Half the Dragon Ball YouTubers out there don't even show their face, man.
But we're going to talk about that a little later.
Okay, but... yeah. So... hop on over. I'm doing a lot of Dragon Ball like mobile gaming content because right now I don't really have a good way of
recording anything else.
Basically, I did do a list of my favorite Halloween movie masks from the Halloween franchise, ranked from best to worst. And the reason why I did best to worst is because we all know Halloween 1 is the best. And so,
well, wait till you see my rebuttal.
Buddy's rebuttal. Halloween 4 has the greatest mask in the franchise. Halloween 4, the return of Michael Myers, ladies and gentlemen.
No spoilers.
But
by the time this podcast is out, that video may be out already.
Okay.
But if not, we'll see.
So, hop on over to my channel. I am really trying to diversify my content, so I'm releasing some stuff that, you know, a lot of people will like. So you don't have to like Dragon Ball because I really plan on doing like horror movie videos or Godzilla videos. I might do another like Godzilla reviews like kind of thing when Godzilla King of Monsters starts getting closer. And this time I'll probably do it like kind of better production wise than I did the first time. So that being said, please hop over, subscribe to my channel. It's much appreciated. Slap a like on a video, even if you don't watch it.
Yeah.
But seriously, that PvP video that I just uploaded, people are like actually watching it because I got this YouTube studio app thing, right? So this is giving me all my stats now, right? So like 533 minutes or 553 minutes of watch time in the last 28 days, but that number was like 300. Like before I uploaded this video, so we could go to it. So 237.
I think it's the clickbait thumbnail. This is what's bringing people in.
It's a clickbaity title. I will admit it, but the people are actually watching the whole video. So I mean, hey, that's all I can ask for. But it's only got one like, so make sure you smash like.
As we were saying,
I set a like goal in that video for 5 likes. So can we get to 5 likes? Can we smash 5 likes on that?
Smash 5 likes. as we were saying, we're talking about movies that are coming out.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm excited to be back.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So this is the first one comes out in September 28th. You've been telling me a lot about this the past couple hours. Before that, I had not heard of it. So tell me about this Hellfest.
Okay, so I mean, I don't really know much about it outside of what I've seen in the trailer, but it looks to be just like kind of like a slasher movie that's set in like a haunted house kind of setting. So like what they're doing in the trailer basically is they go to this haunted house, and this haunted house, there's kind of some rumors swirling about the haunted house, like, oh, people have actually been dismembered in here, and so just kind of stuff that maybe like a teenager or an adult like ourselves would hear and be like, okay, they're just trying to hype this up, and that sounds kind of cool. I want to go to this haunted house.
Yeah.
Okay, so they go to this haunted house, spooky, whatever, some jump scares in the trailer that are, haunted house types things. But there's an ominous figure that's been stalking them and following them around this entire haunted house thing,
Gotcha.
And they're starting to get a little spooked out by it, you know what I mean? This guy's would follow us. Oh, one person's like, oh, yeah, of course he is. It's a haunted house, it's his job.
Yeah.
He's trying to scare you. Whatever. So, I mean, the trailer kind of leaves, like, sort of some ambiguity there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are people actually being killed here, or is this all part of the haunted house? Okay, so it seems interesting. I think that this movie...
It's kind of like an interesting idea. Like, I don't know if I've seen a horror movie where it's
It's kind of like Haunted Ween.
Which I haven't seen, but you've told me about.
Sort of like Haunted Ween,
times.
except in Haunted Ween, there's left basically no doubt to the viewer that, there's some shit going on.
Right.
So, but
that was a haunted house? That wasn't like a circus or anything?
it's, Haunted Ween is like kind of like a haunted house deal. But, so, Hellfest looks interesting. This has the potential to be pretty good. It also has the potential to be absolute garbage, as any 2018 slasher has the potential to be.
Correct.
So I'm excited. I plan on seeing it in theaters, and like we said, September 28th, but that's so close to Cocktober, and by the time this comes out, it'll be Cocktober already. So I might see it. I don't know if Buddy's planning on seeing it.
Well, my movie pass is done. So we'll see how many movies I go to now, because movie pass is down for me, apparently. But October 5th, we're both excited about this one. Venom is coming out. I don't know what to say about it. It's been a long time. We've been waiting for a Venom movie. We're finally getting one.
Venom movie that isn't Spider-Man 3.
Yes. Tom Hardy is good in everything he does, basically. So, I don't know.
I think that this looks... Based on the trailer, and I know that the trailer has been memed to death with the googly eyes, with the thing coming over, and all that stuff. The trailer, in my opinion, looks good. I think that this is going to be a good, like, anti-hero, superhero movie, or whatever. I think that it's going to do the Venom character justice. My one qualm with this movie is that the ties to Spider-Man, at least from the trailer, seem non-existent.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man is kind of an integral part of the Venom character in the comics. So, I don't know. It's not so much that Spider-Man's not going to be a focus in the movie. It's kind of the fact that bothers me is that it's going to be hard to tie in down the line.
Yeah.
Based on
definitely.
Because I'm assuming that at some point these two are going to have to cross paths. Like Tom Hardy Venom... and then Marvel Cinematic Spider-Man.
I mean, somehow, but like it's different companies. But I don't know how.
Well, doesn't who's this, Fox?
I think it's Warner. No, it's Sony.
Sony.
Yeah.
Doesn't Sony still technically own the rights to Spider-Man, and they're just kind of letting Disney like kind of rent him?
Perhaps.
For now,
I don't really know.
I mean, I'm not doing the research on that. If anybody knows, you can let us know in the comments below. But I think that's kind of the situation, because I think that Sony was still planning another Spider-Man movie for themselves.
Really?
That was like a rumor that was
going around. But I thought it was scrapped.
Maybe. But I mean, if they still own the rights, it's hard to believe that they're not going to go with another Spider-Man movie down the line.
Yeah.
So, that being said, it's going to be hard to tie these two together because traditionally in the comics, that Venom symbiote attaches himself to Spider-Man first.
In space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's on Spider-Man first, and the reason why the Venom symbiote and Eddie Brock kind of bond together as well as they do is a mutual hatred for Spider-Man. The symbiote suit hates Spider-Man for abandoning it in the bell tower. Eddie Brock hates Spider-Man for some weird photo stuff because he's like a photographer.
I mean, the different comics have different reasons why, but
you know what I mean. So they bond in their hatred of Spider-Man, and they go to it. And there's kind of this whole subplot where like the symbiote actually wants to bond with Spider-Man again. You know what I mean, and stuff like that. But I mean, that's traditionally how it goes in the comics. But in this, clearly Eddie Brock is getting the symbiote first.
Yes.
And he is going to be Venom first. So I don't know if maybe down the line, in a later like Sony Spider-Man movie, the symbiote will abandon Eddie Brock.
Perhaps.
And go to Spider-Man, seeing him and being like, oh man, he's got these like cool powers. Maybe if we bond with him, we'll be even more powerful.
Yeah.
Right? And so it would bond with Spider-Man, and then eventually Spider-Man, by like the end of a movie or something, would be like, nah,
bro.
I don't like this. You're like getting into my head or something, and you'll take the symbiote off. It'll go back to Eddie Brock. Now, Eddie Brock hates Spider-Man because he lost the symbiote to Spider-Man the first time. And now the symbiote hates Spider-Man because Spider-Man abandoned it. And so they bond again over a mutual hatred for Spider-Man. And then the next Spider-Man movie after that will be Spider-Man versus Venom.
Hey, Sony, so we are available. So
we can pen the script for you. We can do this.
Yes.
So that's a theory for that. But in the meantime, the trailer for Venom looks great, and I'm excited for it because, like you said, we've been waiting for a Venom movie for years. And like you said, also, Tom Hardy's great in everything that he does. And
you never see his face, and he's always wearing some sort of mask or something, so I think even when he is Venom, it's still going to be good,
And even as Bane, with the weird accent and everything, he still portrayed a compelling villain.
Yeah.
Just not so much Bane.
Well, he wasn't really given. I mean, that movie was just ass. I mean, let's just say how
I don't want to go all the way ass with it. I still think it's okay. It's the worst of that trilogy for sure. Like, it's not even. It's not even close. It goes Dark Knight, Batman Begins, and then Dark Knight Rises.
Yes. Anything else about Venom? We're excited.
It's pretty straightforward, and I think that with certainty, at least one of us is going to be discussing this film at the end of the month.
Yes. Have you seen any trailers for the Bad Times at El Royale?
I haven't.
I think it looks interesting. There's not much to say. It's just like a hotel, and there's some heist stuff going on. Jeff Bridges is the lead in it. He's like posing as a priest, but he's actually like an assassin. Could be okay. Might be one I wait for the DVD for, but it's coming out this month, so I just figured I'd bring it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Other than that, we see Halloween coming out on the 19th, obviously.
Halloween's coming out on the 19th. That means Saturday the 20th. We will be discussing...
Be prepared.
We will be discussing Halloween the next day, so I don't know if that's going to be a chat over the phone or what we're doing.
It's probably going to have to be.
But we're going to be discussing that the next day, and so be prepared for that. It's going to be like a whole episode, minus sans, we're going to have the Cocktober segment.
Obviously.
At the end.
Just looking around here.
All right, so we'll say this while you're looking. Suspiria
comes out. It's unconfirmed if it's the end of October or the beginning of September.
We've had two sources saying October 26th, and then a source saying September whenever. But
that's about it for October.
Or November.
Anyway.
Sorry, November 2nd is what they're saying. But so assuming that Suspiria actually comes out on October 26th, I don't know if I'm so much excited about this movie or if I'm even going to see it. Maybe even if I do see it in theaters, I'm not going to rush to see it. So I don't know if I'm going to get to it by the end of Cocktober.
Right.
So here's the thing. I'm not like the biggest fan. I
agree. I'm not the biggest fan of Dario Argento to begin with, but
Ooh, really?
I mean, he's okay.
Okay.
He is good. He is fine, but it's not like the ones I'm like, gotta watch Suspiria. You know what I mean? But like, they're good, but it's not like I'm all gung ho.
I'm not. Like what you going all the way with Dario Argento is like that's borderline blasphemous. I don't want to go that far. On
he
this.
is good.
If we ever blow up in the, you know what I mean, and then the horror fans will come back to this episode and be like, oof.
They're not my favorite horror films. They're
not my favorite either.
They're
but
good.
I'll say this, okay, right off the bat, because where I was going with this is that Suspiria is not my favorite. Right? I'm not the biggest fan of the original Suspiria. Now, I know that's blasphemous because a lot of people cite that as one of the greatest of all time. My Dario Argento that I'm, like, really big on is kind of like his, like not, don't want to say, like, way later stuff, but I want to say, like, later stuff. So, like, getting into, like, the 80s and, like, mid-80s, like, I really like Phenomena. That movie is really good. And I like Opera. Opera's...
I have not seen Opera.
Opera's great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those are kind of like the Dario Argento that I really like. But Suspiria, I think I was in the wrong setting.
I was 100% in the wrong setting for it. And, like, I dig the artsy stuff, but for me, I don't think there was enough real substance to it.
So, that's Suspiria. I'm not going to sit here and come out and hate on it. I'm actually going to defend it here in a second because this is among movies, even though I'm not a huge fan of it, this is among movies...
I acknowledge its significance, like, no doubt.
This is among movies that I look at and see and I say that there's absolutely 10 billion% no reason at all to remake this movie.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that.
There's absolutely no reason to remake this movie. They're remaking... This, I mean, and for those of you that don't understand what I mean by no reason to remake a movie, I don't think there's many of you out there that question my wording on that, but think about this. I think next year or the year after that, they're remaking Scarface.
Yeah, like why?
Can you tell me a single reason on this fucking planet why anyone needs to remake Scarface when you could go back, watch the original Scarface, and tell me exactly what that movie's lacking?
I guess
what about that movie has not aged well enough to be viewed by a normal audience?
Just to throw it out here, that Scarface is also a remake. So to be fair, that Scarface was not the original. Although it is the definitive, that was not the original Scarface as well.
All right.
So, but I agree. There's no reason to remake it. I agree.
But the Al Pacino one is the definitive version.
Yes.
So once you have the definitive version... this is an iconic, famous movie, and this applies to Suspiria as well as also an iconic, famous movie that there's just absolutely 100% no reason to remake these movies. It's not like they had special effects in them that don't age well. It's not like they have some goofy monster in them or something that looks really goofy, and it's like, man...
And it's a period piece anyway, so it's not like it's dated. It's made for that time period.
That would look better with CGI these days. You can't see the zipper on the costume or something stupid like that. Yeah. There are no fucking monsters in goddamn Scarface, and I mean... I guess there's like apparitions or something in Suspiria, but I mean like they're human-like. Now I see something in the trailer for the new Suspiria that looks kind of like not human, like the creature that's like kind of crawling on the ground there. It's like seems to be like half woman, half creature of some sort, disfigured or whatever. But I mean, this just didn't need to be made. This movie didn't need to be made, so. I'm just not really that excited about it. And if I could say one thing about Suspiria that you could improve in a remake if you were to make one, which they are.
Which they have made. It is done.
Is that you could probably improve the pacing of Suspiria.
Oh, definitely.
Of the original Suspiria and make it a little bit more paced well. The first Suspiria is very dragging, very slow, and just like not really like engaging dialogue or anything like that. It's just like it's really a slow moving movie. And I mean, to maybe its benefit in a lot of people's eyes is that when, the climax finally comes, it builds up to this climax, which I can see the argument for. But it's really slow. So for like a modern audience, maybe you want a movie that's a little bit faster paced and gets a little bit more to the point. And from the looks of this trailer, it didn't look very much more exciting than the original Suspiria at all.
I think it does deserve the original one does deserve a rewatch because we watched it as Monster Madness the first year with me and all my roommates. And no one was in the you want like something fun to like watch.
Exactly. I watched that with my girlfriend and I was expecting we were in the mood to watch like a Friday the 13th or something like that. Something so fun. I'm looking up good slashers to watch. Yeah. You know what I mean? Even though Suspiria is like not even a slasher, but people would always just kind of like lump it in with that for some reason. So I kind of got introduced to it on the wrong foot already, watching it in the wrong setting, like in the middle of the day with like my girlfriend waiting to see some like blood and tits, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, so it deserves another look from me as well.
Yeah. So that's basically all the movies that are coming out this next month that I'm looking forward to. Is there anything else you wanted to mention real fast? Because there is one thing I wanted to show you. It does not come out this month, but we were talking about it earlier because it was just released like 2 days ago, the first image from it. And you said you had not seen it, and I was going to show you it on the podcast and get your genuine reaction of the Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
Oh, yeah. Now, I have no other thoughts to add. I mean, obviously, the movie I'm most excited for is Halloween.
Obviously.
Which, by the way, is another movie that didn't need to be remade. And this is not a remake. So
this is
why
a sequel.
I'm really excited. And I was excited for the Halloween remake when it came out because I just wanted more Halloween content. But, looking back on it now, it's like Rob Zombie remade the first movie and put his little twist on it. He made a movie that's just totally unnecessary. It's like the RoboCop remake. This movie is totally unnecessary because when presented with both of these movies, Halloween and Halloween, I'm going to pick 1978 Halloween every time. When I'm presented with RoboCop and RoboCop, I'm going to pick I'm going to pick 1988 RoboCop every time. And I'm sure coming down the line, when I'm presented with Scarface and Scarface, I'm going to pick Al Pacino Scarface every time. So you've wasted your time. You've made a movie that's like
didn't need to be.
I'll watch.
It's like the Psycho remake.
Why did you need that? Time, and the Psycho remake, I don't even need to watch one time. That's literally a shot-for-shot remake. And who in their right mind thinks that you can match Alfred Hitchcock shot for shot and do that shit?
It's not even completely shot for shot, though.
Especially with Vince Vaughn as your lead.
That was bizarre.
Give me a fucking break.
Anyway.
Let me see Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
So, how did you feel when you found out about this Joaquin Phoenix Joker?
I think that we talked about it on the podcast.
Did we?
I think when you talked about it, but I'm a little disappointed, actually. And I know that I don't think that Jared Leto's Joker was the most popular Joker out there, but based on what we saw in Suicide Squad, I was into it enough that I wanted to see more. I wanted to see like where he was going with it. I thought he was charismatic. I thought that, all this stuff, it was different. It was a unique take on the character. Again, another unique take on the character. So I was with it. I was ready to see Ben Affleck's standalone Batman movie, and I was assuming that the Joker would probably be the main villain of it. I was ready to see this. I was more on board with that than most people, I guess, in that respect. So hearing Joaquin Phoenix take it over and we're rebooting the Joker again is a little disappointing to me. But, I mean, I gotta roll with the punches, I guess, and see what I'm going with here. So
okay, it is a little controversial, but you said you liked the unique, like a different spin.
I already see.
You already see
it here, yeah.
Well, there he is.
Okay, so again, so what I'm getting from this right now is just major.
Bozo the Clown.
Actually, I was going with major Heath Ledger vibes. This just reminds me so much. We got the longer hair. It's kind of curly. Now it's probably a little bit more kept than the Heath Ledger Joker's hair. But then we got the out of control lipstick, which is just really, really Heath Ledger Joker. Probably some drawn on eyebrows up there. I feel like was part of his gimmick. Maybe not.
The clip was like 2 seconds long. It's literally just like it zooms in close on his face like that. Like it's just that's all it is.
Yeah. So how soon is this movie coming out?
I don't know. They're shooting it now. There's him no makeup. That's because I guess he goes unmakeup a lot in it. I guess in some of the scenes I've seen.
I don't like that.
And there's more of the outfit.
See, like, look, like the way he has his hair like that and everything. Like this, honestly. Okay. See, now we're going with like the pink or whatever color suit that is.
Yeah.
This is really kind of like a cross based on the suit between like a Cesar Romero and like Heath Ledger Joker.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm going to have to see the actual portrayal of the character on camera, like his lines and stuff in the movie and like kind of how he plays it. As far as the look goes,
I thought it looked when I saw it the first time. I thought it looked like piss.
Like the initial look at it looks really bad. Like when you just look right at it, I'm thinking like John Wayne Gacy or whatever. Like instantly, and so like, but then I look at it, and now it just kind of looks. The more I look at it, it really, really reminds me of like Heath Ledger Joker, just because of how messy his makeup is. And that was Heath Ledger. Now, like, they're doing it different, okay? But Heath Ledger was really the first guy to really portray that character as having really just messy, fucked up makeup. Like, he just kind of slapped it on his face. He didn't really give a shit. He was also the first guy to really portray the Joker as someone that was wearing makeup, because actually in comics and in all the lore before that,
acid burn.
It was acid burns. So we're really going with this makeup thing again, which I don't like because it's been done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so like, but again, I'm going to reserve judgment for the movie.
I was let down by the look.
I'm let down because it's just such a callback to Heath Ledger that it's just like, can we get something that's like...
Because at least the Jared Leto one was different.
Can we get something that's not like just grimy looking? I love Heath Ledger's Joker as much as everyone else. It's probably my favorite Joker. Mm-hmm. But like... it's not going to be replicated, and so like I don't like this like continuing to go back to like this kind of like sloppy Joker look. Basically, like let's just do the neat fucking hair Joker again, and let's see what happens. Jared Leto was definitely different, you know. It was Look at this. Look at this shit.
That's fan art, but yeah.
But what does it remind you of?
It reminds you of Heath Ledger.
Okay.
But yeah, I like Joaquin Phoenix as an actor, so maybe he'll be able to bring something to it, but as far as the design goes, I'm not a fan of the design.
Who is going to be Batman when they meet? Okay, because listen, you can do your Joker standalone movie and be like a little origin story. That's cool and dandy, but the Joker eventually needs to fight Batman. That's just his thing. He exists to be the antithesis of Batman. I think that's the right word for that, right?
Sure.
Whatever. Okay. Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, to be determined. So let's hop into our next segment here.
So we're going to play a little game.
I'd like to play a little game. In celebration of Cocktober, which is the month of cocks and horror movies, we are going to play Slash Cards. Now, since we are playing on a podcast with no visual aid, we're going to kind of tweak the rules a little bit, and we're just going to go by the questions.
It's trivia questions, basically.
Trivia questions. We're going to go, and the first one to answer 5 questions correctly will be the horror film champion of Two Nerds a Podcast.
Today.
We've got the belt in the studio.
We do.
There it is. Let's get a photo of that up on the video here. This is popping up there. And so we're going to hop in right now, And some of these we will have to like kind of confirm on our phones.
Does it not have the answer on the back?
It does, but it will only give us examples. Like some of these are.
Oh yeah. I remember this. I remember this from the last time.
All right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if we should go that because we both know that it's Del Toro, right? So,
yeah.
I don't want to butcher the first name, Guillermo or
Guillermo,
whatever.
Guillermo.
But the question is, who directed Pan's Labyrinth?
Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo del Toro. So we both know that. So I mean,
there's no point. Yeah.
There's no point. So should one of us? Because I feel like the person reading the question has a distinct advantage. Because like I was reading that, and I was like, I could just say Del Toro. Should we take turns? Reading
let's do that.
To each other.
Okay, let's take turns.
Okay, so name 2 Canadian horror films.
Do they have like taking place in Canada or shot in Canada?
I believe it's shot in Canada.
I
know one, but I don't think I know another.
I know 2 that take place in Canada.
Okay.
Off the top of my head.
Okay.
Made by the same director.
Okay.
Tusk and Yoga Hosers.
Okay. I don't think that those are correct answers because they're not. The one that I know, I'm pretty sure, is Canadian, is a old movie that I believe is only on VHS. They might have like an obscure DVD release now. It's called Things.
Okay. And
it's really weird, and I've watched it once. It's like a Super 8 movie. And like 8mm. I should have just said 8mm. But it's really strange. I don't know if I liked it. I'm pretty sure it's Canadian. I don't know any other ones. So there you go.
Well, it's.
What were these? What were
they
some
were.
answers?
They only give 2: Pontypool and Videodrome. I didn't know Videodrome was Canadian.
I didn't know that either. I don't know what the fuck Pontypool is.
Yeah, I don't either. In what year was the American version of The Ring released?
2003.
You were so close, my friend.
2002?
That is correct, my darling.
Son of a bitch.
I was not a boy of 11, but I was a mere boy of 10 when that came out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Didn't we ask this question last time we tried to play this? Name 2 horror movies that take place in New Orleans?
I don't know. We might have. Go to a new card.
Who directed 7?
Who directed 7? That's David Fincher.
But did we do this card?
I don't know.
All right, so I mean,
go to a new one.
All right, so,
or I can get my David Fincher point.
There's the two right in a row Psycho-related questions that were extremely easy. All right, so I'm not going to do that one because it's almost too hard, and this one's almost. It's not almost. It's way too easy. Who directed Psycho? We just said it earlier. I should get that answer because I said it before we even started this. Hitchcock. All right. So, in what year was Tom Holland's Fright Night released?
88.
I'm going to say 86, but it's not.
It might be 86.
It's not going to count. So, 85.
Damn.
All right, so ask me the question beneath that one, I guess.
The question about The Ring.
What the hell? Flashcards?
What actress played journalist Rachel Keller in The Ring?
Oh, man. I know it's not this, because I know that this is The Grudge. But I'm going to say Sarah Michelle Gellar.
That is incorrect. Naomi Watts.
I don't like The Ring, so...
Yeah.
Fuck you, Flashcards. Come on, man. This is too easy. But, I mean, this will go on too long if I just keep giving you hard questions. So, aliens that just so happen to look like circus clowns invade the Earth and wreak havoc on a small town in this 1988 film.
Oh, that would be killer clowns from outer space.
How did you know? God, let's check to confirm. Jesus Christ, that is correct, buddy. You have 1 point.
1 point.
On your way to dominating me in this game.
To zilch. I would ask you the first one, but it seems way too easy.
But I just gave you the Killer Clowns one where the answer is literally pretty much in the damn question.
Okay. You're going to get one. Here's the thing. You can only do one per franchise.
Okay.
Name 3 horror films that take place in Texas.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I swear I've done this before and, like, actually got it. But, Hills Have Eyes is California. Oh, man.
I'm going to look at the examples they have.
Are they really obvious? I remember we asked this before, and, like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre was not even on the list.
No, Texas Chainsaw's on here.
Oh, is it?
There's 2 more. There's one that I didn't know was in Texas. It's kind of that area, but one kind of takes place in Texas, and then the other half of the movie is not in Texas. Just a couple more seconds.
What was that, Silence of the Lambs?
That's not... I don't know if that's in Texas or not.
Okay. I don't think it is, honestly, but I guess I don't know.
Okay. Well, the back of the card says The Devil's Rejects, which I assumed was in the South, didn't know Texas. And the other one was Dusk Till Dawn, which half of it's in Mexico.
Most of it's in Mexico, isn't it?
But the beginning's in Texas.
Yeah, they're right. Whatever. Who directed The Haunting, 1963?
Oh, motherfucker. I actually fucking know this. And they remade it with fucking Owen Wilson in the 90s.
Who directed that one?
I don't know. I don't know.
Owen Wilson.
I'm gonna be thinking forever, so I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
David Wise.
Yeah, I did know that.
All right.
I did. Director David Cronenberg based his film's fictional civic TV station on a real Toronto television station known for broadcasting mature content during its late-night programming. Based this film's fictional TV station.
Wait, what's the film?
It doesn't say. You're naming the film.
Oh, I'm naming the film?
Director David Cronenberg based this film's fictional TV station on a real station in Toronto.
That played adult content. All right, so I don't think that they're ever watching TV in The Fly. Did he do Society? I
can't say. I can't give you any...
I'm going to go with Society, even though I'm not sure if he directed that.
Well,
or is it... No, he didn't do freaking The One. I'm pretty sure it's Stuart Gordon did the From Beyond. So, I'm going to go with Society.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Well, the clue was Toronto television station, and we had just talked about Canadian horror films. It was Videodrome, which I didn't know was David Cronenberg until now.
I actually did, but like...
Because I guess that is kind of body horror, I guess, because it melts
or the hand or whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, dude.
Is it easy? Or is it hard?
It's easy for you. You know the answer to this. I already know you know the answer to this. So, whatever. I have to do it because this is the luck of the draw. So, Bela Lugosi only played Count Dracula in 2 feature films. One was Dracula, 1931, and the other one was...
Abbott and Costello.
I don't even have to look. I just have faith in your answer. So 2-0. Damn, this is not going how I planned.
Were you expecting to just wipe the floor with me? Or expected to be
competitive? I was body bagging you last time we played.
I don't think you were. I think it was pretty neck and neck.
I was beating your ass.
In this 2007 film.
Great. Yeah, give me the new ones, because that's my specialty.
It's the luck of the draw.
That's my specialty.
I'm just reading the next question. A young reporter, a veteran journalist, and a detective chase a cryptic serial killer around Northern California in the 1970s. 2007 film. And if I would have gotten this one, I would have known it immediately too. Because
is it Zodiac?
It is Zodiac.
All right.
One of my favorite films.
Is that one of your favorites? Okay.
David Fincher's my favorite director.
All right. Name 3 horror franchise crossover movies. This is extremely easy for you because you're a huge fan of Universal monster movies.
Well, I'll stick to one per franchise. How about that?
Ooh.
So we'll just do Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein.
Okay.
We'll do Alien versus Predator, and we'll do Freddy versus Jason. I could just fill it all with Universal monster movies.
Listen. I'm going to...
Or does Alien versus Predator not count?
Alien versus Predator will count, okay? Because the first two movies in each of those franchises is generally a horror movie.
I can keep going.
Freddy versus Jason counts. I don't want to count Abbott and Costello because Abbott and Costello is a comedy franchise that meets a horror franchise.
Then I can say House of Dracula, where they all come together. Or I can say King Kong versus Godzilla. I can go for days.
I know you could go for days. I was hoping you would just go with Frankenstein meets the Wolfman.
I could go with that.
Okay, so it's 3-1. Next question.
Okay, who directed Creepshow?
George Romero and Stephen King.
Let's double check. George Romero, yeah. I'll give it to you.
Stephen King, at least wrote some of it or something.
Yeah, he wrote his part, I think.
In Halloween 1978, what are the names of Laurie Strode's two friends?
Motherfuck.
I know one of them.
Not Ben Tramer.
Not Ben Tramer. He doesn't show up until Halloween 2. Where he gets voted out. You know what? Bold prediction. Will Ben Tramer show up in the new Halloween? Will he be mentioned?
She could be married to Ben Tramer.
I think she's a widow at this point. When you got a fucking cellar full of guns, I'm pretty sure you're a widow. But...
Honestly, I can't tell you their names.
Alright, I know Annie.
Yeah.
And,
Annie!
But her blonde friend is Lindsay. No, Lindsay's the little girl.
Yeah, Lindsay's the little girl. I don't know it. The one that's like, I don't need books. So who reads books? I don't need any books.
This is the one that's a super slut. So I'm gonna feel really stupid when I turn this card over, which is why I don't want to turn it over, because this is my favorite movie of all time, not just my favorite horror
But it's
movie.
an irrelevant character.
She gets choked out with the phone cord.
She does.
So I know who she is. I know exactly who she is. I just don't remember her name.
Yeah.
We'll say Donna. Hot Donna. Annie and Linda. See, I fucking knew that, actually. Oh, God. All right.
Okay. Oh, this is going to be easy. It's the same movie, and we just talked about it. Can we skip that one?
No, you can't skip it.
All right, what author played country bumpkin Jory...
Stephen King. Stephen King. Damn it. Give me my fucking points. Can't skip it. All right.
So it's 3-2.
Here's a tough one.
Is it a tough one? Okay.
The stepdaughter of a totalitarian military officer discovers a darkly fantastic... Actually, this isn't hard at all. Discovers a darkly fantastic world that offers an escape from her grim reality in this 2006 film.
Is it Pan's Labyrinth?
It's got to be Pan's Labyrinth. Pan's Labyrinth.
Okay.
It's 4-2.
Okay.
Pressure's coming on for me.
You can get this one. Name 5 horror movies.
5 is a lot.
From the 2010s.
From the 2010s?
From the 2010s.
Can I count the ones that we were talking about earlier, even though they're not out yet?
I'm going to say they have to be out.
Okay, well then, Jigsaw, Get Out, It Follows, Conjuring is the first Conjuring in 2010s.
It's on the back of the card, so...
Okay, and then, Insidious.
Sure. That's not on the back of the card, but that is...
I mean, I'll give you something else.
That's also correct. No, I mean, that's fine.
I'll give you Rings.
Sure.
If you really want. You want me to bust out Rings, buddy? A doll, batteries, and a fireplace.
That's it?
Yeah.
The game's about to be over, Jared. That's gotta be Child's Play, right?
It's Child's Play.
That's gotta be.
All right, so you got to 5 first. But we'll do a potential tire if you can ask me, if I can answer the next 2 questions in a row to tie it up, and then we'll have to go to sudden death.
Okay. Horror can show up in unexpected places. Like the Skekkies in this 1982 Jim Henson film?
82?
82.
Dark Crystal?
Dark Crystal.
Okay.
Yep. What three Universal monsters appear together on screen for the final time in Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein?
Well, I'm going to assume that it's Frankenstein, Dracula, and the Wolfman.
Well, Jared, Frankenstein does not make an appearance in that.
Frankenstein's monster, you
Yes.
dipshit.
Okay.
All right.
So, 5 on 5. Something evil begins to affect the members of an asbestos cleanup crew working at an abandoned...
Alien. No, wait, no, asbestos. I'm sorry, go on. Finish the question.
Something evil begins to affect the members of an asbestos cleanup crew working at an abandoned mental hospital in this 2001 film.
Oh, Session 9?
That is correct.
All right. So the first one to get something wrong is going to be the loser, I guess. Even though I said alien. But the question has to be fully out, buddy. I did not lose. All right. Name the artist or the group that composed the score for The Thing in 1982.
Oh, God, it wasn't Goblin.
I actually don't know who the fuck it is.
No, because Goblin was Dawn of the Dead.
If you get one of the artists correct, then I'll give it to you.
I can't recall any of them.
It should be fairly obvious to you.
John Carpenter.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay. So,
I didn't know if that counted. I thought it was like
the
a
other
band.
one is Enrico Morricone
Oh, okay.
and John Carpenter. So I just give it to you based on John Carpenter because I'm coming from behind right now. So you deserve.
See,
some
I
breaks as well.
had like assumed it was like a band or something,
Yeah.
because it's
The way the question's phrased, it
Yeah.
does sound like a band.
In the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, Leatherface wears a mask made from what material?
Human flesh.
Human skin.
Give me the fucking cards. Give me the cards. Okay. What actress won an Academy Award for her portrayal of Clarice Starling in The Silence of the Lambs?
Jodie Foster.
1991, ladies and gentlemen. If they ever remake The Silence of the Lambs, it will be added to our list of movies that you never needed to remake. Ever. Jodie Foster's Knuckles.
A scientist obsessed with reanimating the dead creates a monster out of cadaver and parts. With the help of his assistant, gives it a brain of a criminal in this 1931 film.
Frankenstein.
Oh.
I thought that they were going with Reanimator with their
well-
word of reanimates.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Frankenstein, so. Name 2 horror movies that take place in a sorority or a fraternity house.
Black Christmas.
Okay.
And isn't it just called Sorority? Sorority Night or something? What's that one called?
What decade are you thinking? I'm going to look up Sorority Night.
I think it's like the 70s. Late 70s, early 80s. Sorority House or something?
Oh, okay. So there's no movie called Sorority Night. So you have to come up with something else. I think I know what the movie you're talking about is. I will say that it's in the 80s, but that's all I'm going to say to you. There are also other options that you can go with here.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Black Christmas is correct.
Okay.
Frat House.
Examples. Okay, the examples are exactly the 2 that you're thinking of. So Black Christmas is one of the examples. The other one is the example that you are thinking of. I know you're thinking of it.
I know. I can't think of the name.
But I can't give it to you. There are also other options here.
I know, but I can't. They're not coming to my mind because I'm focused on that one. Prom night's not in a frat house.
I'm assuming there might be a frat house in it.
Can I say that?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll give it to you.
What was the one I was thinking
The House on Sorority Row. Is that the movie you were thinking of? Because that's the one I was thinking of.
Maybe, yeah.
There's a House on Sorority Row. There's also The Initiation, and there's also Hell Night, which I guess doesn't really take place in the...
I'm thinking of one that has, like, a girl in, like, some... Like, it's a girl on the cover. She's wearing, like, a lingerie, like, dress
Yeah, that's
thing.
House on Sorority Row.
Yeah.
And so then there's The Initiation, which really, truthfully, takes place pretty much in, like, a sorority house. And then Hell Night, which doesn't, like, totally take place in the house, like the frat or sorority house, but it's about a frat and sorority initiation. And so, like, there is definitely a frat and sorority house in it. Which would apply to the fucking Dusk Till Dawn rule that they pulled on us earlier with the Mexican.
I'm just looking at this card, and your question is easy as hell, and the one that I'm about to do is the hardest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, man, okay.
What filmmaker known for Animal House also directed American Werewolf in London?
I might not actually get this.
I hope you don't get this, because there is no way I'm getting the next one.
Oh, man. Animal House, American Werewolf in London.
Actually, I might have a hunch on mine, if you get this wrong.
I don't know it. I don't.
You don't want to take a guess?
I don't have any director in mind. Is it, See, no, it's like, it's not Sean S. Cunningham. Something like Animal House, I would, like, probably be like, okay, he could do that. But American Werewolf in London, I could never credit that to Sean S. Cunningham.
So you're forfeiting? So this is it. So
That's it.
I'm winning tonight.
You're winning. You're winning the championship.
It is John Landis.
John Landis. All right.
Okay, but here was my question.
What Grease actor...
No, the one above that. The one you're covering.
Okay.
So fucking hard. Like,
adjusting for inflation, what's the highest grossing horror film of all time at the box office?
I'm thinking Jaws.
It's either... If they count Jaws, but if it's not Jaws, it's got to be The Exorcist, right? Or did that flop in the box office?
I don't know.
The Exorcist.
Okay. Fair.
I would have thrown both of those out there and accepted either answer, basically, because Jaws.
What was that next one though? Because I was intrigued.
It's
okay, John Travolta.
John Travolta.
What Grease? And I was like, what are you talking?
As soon as I saw Grease, then I was like, immediately John Travolta comes to mind.
Yeah.
But then it said Carrie, and I was like, there, John Travolta.
Yeah.
So that was Slash Cards, ladies and gentlemen. Buddy is the Slash champion this time, but next time, I'm going to get him.
Next time I'm going to get him.
Bastard. All right, so Slash Cards, really fun game. Make sure you guys go to Amazon and order this game if you're a fan of horror movies. These guys did a Kickstarter to release this game. It's got some good questions. Questions of varying difficulties. So, like, even if you are a horror connoisseur, you know what I mean?
Because there's some shit on there that we didn't know.
Yeah, so I mean, I kind of consider myself like a kind of horror movie buff, but
yeah.
I mean, not to the level of someone like maybe Midnight Miles. But anyways, this game will be fun for you and your horror movie friends. We'd love to have no-star reviews come on the show, maybe do like an over-the-phone version where we're asking him questions.
Yeah.
So... whatever. Buy Slash Cards. We'll plug it for them. Make sure you subscribe to our channels.
And we got to move on to our final segment of the night, the Cocktober segment.
The Cocktober segment. And today, since it is our glorious return to YouTube, we are going to be talking about the sexiest male YouTubers out there that just so happen to be chickens.
Yes.
Because we're talking about cocks here.
Yes.
The sexiest male YouTubers. Buddy, I have so many on my mind. So many. There's many attractive male YouTubers out there. Do you got any? Do you know anybody? Aside from yourself.
The reason I was saying we gotta save it for later when we're talking about Dragon Ball. Like, what do you think Geekdom 101 looks like? He's gotta be weird looking.
Don't diss my boy here, boy! Don't diss my boy! I've actually seen Geekdom 101, and he's...
I've never seen what he looks like.
Okay, I mean, he's...
Is he a good-looking guy?
No, he's... Okay. to put it to you bluntly, he's not the best looking dude on YouTube. We can't, in good conscience, add him to this list. No offense to you, Geekdom. I'm not trying to hate on you, my boy. But, you know, I've seen you. You look like a Dragon Ball fan, which is cool by me. That's fine. If you ever just so happen to be listening to this, really not trying to start beef. But damn it.
We love you. Just stop spoiling Dragon Ball for us.
In Geekdom 101, you are not the, okay. So, yeah, I could show you a picture of, because he made, like, his first, like, public appearance under the Geekdom moniker, basically, at that KamehaCon thing.
Okay.
So there's photos of him from there.
Gotcha.
So, regardless of that, if a YouTuber basically never uses face cam, it should be like kind of your first hint to the fact that
so we can't use no star reviews in this. We can't throw him in there. I mean, he's got a sexy voice.
Have you seen his?
I've not seen his face.
We need.
He can send us a selfie if he wants, but that might spoil the mystery. I don't know if I ever want to know.
No star reviews. If you want to enter into the sexiest YouTuber contest for Cocktober, we will hold off. Well, I mean, we have to make our choices by the end of this. And if you really want to put blind faith in no star reviews, then you're more than welcome to. I'm just saying, I'll probably body bag you unless it seems like on the Twitter polls for all these, right? For all of our polls that we have, anytime that I go for the ironic pick, nobody votes for the ironic pick, right? Anytime Buddy's like, I'm going to go ironic with this one, everybody goes ironic with their answers. You know what I mean? So it's just a fucking crapshoot as to like who's going to win anything. But
yeah,
I will say that from like a general attractiveness vantage point, I'm confident that I can find YouTubers whose faces have been shown that we would get very unironic votes for.
Sure.
that would beat no star reviews. No offense to no star reviews.
Okay. Name your first. Who you got?
Well, I mean, why not start right at the top? And I think that if anyone should be mentioned, you got to mention PewDiePie. He's the #1 YouTuber on the planet.
But is he the sexiest?
I don't know if he's the sexiest, but you've got to know that part of his popularity falls back on the fact that he's not a bad-looking guy. He's definitely attractive. I've had more than one female in my life tell me that they've found PewDiePie sexually attractive before, and that's why they would watch him play Amnesia or whatever crappy games that he would play.
Interesting.
So,
Interesting
PewDiePie's a contender definitely to bring to the table.
Well, I'm going to bring to the table the guy that does all the covers but only sings it with All-Star. That guy. That's a sexy man.
So you're going with ironic picks today. I see. I guess I'm going to lose this one because everyone's going to go totally ironic with it. Oh yeah, that's funny. That one's fucking funny. Good. Thank God. All right, cool. Okay.
Who else you got? There's not much to say for that one.
Who else do I got? Yeah, he speaks for himself. Most certainly does. You know what? I'll stick to my guns here, and I'm going to go ahead and put out Jacksepticeye out there. We'll stick with the PewDiePie realm.
I don't know who Jacksepticeye is.
He's another YouTube gamer. You can go ahead and look him up.
How do you spell it?
I don't really know how many games that he plays. There it is, Jacksepticeye. Jackspedicy, as they like to call him.
Alright, I got you.
Yeah,
He's kind of got the ninja thing going on with the hair.
Yeah, it's not a bad looking guy here, but I'm assuming that some of the girls, he's got 18 million subscribers, probably more than that by now. Some of the girls, I'm sure, subscribe to this man. They think he's very attractive.
Sure, I can see it.
But is he my pick?
I would not say he's a solid pick. But I see. I see where you're.
Shots fired at Jacksepticeye. Do we need Jacksepticeye on the show?
Perhaps. I don't know. I'm trying to think. How about the Paul brothers? Let's throw them out there.
All right. I was waiting for them to come up. How about KSI? but I don't think KSI is going to win this competition anytime soon. That is an ugly, ugly man.
Just tell it like it is.
I'll sugarcoat it for my boys like Geekdom and No Star Reviews. I ain't sugarcoating it for KSI, bro. I ain't sugarcoating it for that guy. But the Paul brothers, again, so many followers, and I'll say Jake Paul more so than Logan Paul. I would say that a lot of his followers are probably kind of like a preteen to like younger teenage girl demographic that really think that he's like attractive.
Yeah.
So, Jake Paul might be a solid pick for this. Logan, oh man, I mean, he's not the worst guy that we've brought up on this list so far, but he's also not the best. I think that Jacksepticeye is a better pick than Logan Paul.
Cool. You got a couple more?
I got several more because I watch YouTube with my girlfriend, so
rattle, because you're in tone with the YouTube climate.
I'm actually not. These guys that I watch are like YouTube veterans, but you know that new YouTubers are rising to the top like every year. You know what I mean? So these guys are kind of old news, but we got Markiplier.
Okay.
You know him, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Markiplier. He's there. And then I'll throw this one out there. I figured maybe you would throw this one out there as maybe like a slightly ironic, but maybe not. We don't know. Kind of ambiguous, just like this man's gender. Jeffree Star.
Okay.
I definitely don't think Jeffree Star's attractive. You seen this guy without makeup on? Holy fucking shit. I don't mean to hate on Jeffree because he's got a new video series out with Shane Dawson
that I've had to watch the whole thing.
That totally
Trust me, I've had to watch the whole thing.
Me too. But totally brings sympathy to his character or whatever. And but I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now, man, without makeup on, he is just not a joy to look at. He could definitely be the main lady in Suspiria.
Sure.
When she comes out and does the thing or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Jeffree Star could play that part. They should have cast him in the remake. And then I think that my actual pick will be one of these two men.
Okay. Can I bring up one?
Yeah.
Have you heard of Matt Pat from Game Theory?
I have not. Let's take a look at this man.
Just like a normal looking guy.
Okay, I can see.
Yeah.
It's kind of got the Jim Halpert thing going on in that picture.
Yeah, just...
This is a normal looking dude.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Like, he's not, like, drop dead sexy, but, like, you know...
But would you fuck him? Yeah, probably.
He's got... He's smart.
I really like that picture.
Yeah.
Put that picture up. Put that picture up on the podcast. Woo!
But yeah, that just came to my mind randomly.
What about Simon Miller from What Culture?
He's buff. There's no doubt about it.
But you don't like the baldness, do you?
I mean, I know that's kind of your thing. You can relate to him. You guys are kind of like brothers.
Okay, but since your hair's not thinning, then you don't find bald man attractive.
Yeah, I thought
you don't think Stone Cold Steve Austin or The Rock are attractive?
No, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, like, you can't. Yeah, I mean, Simon's okay. He's good.
I'd say that he's probably the best looking guy that they have at What Culture.
Well, when the original guy, the one dude that got, like, banned from the internet because he was soliciting pictures, he was decent looking, but now he can't do videos anymore because he's a predator, I guess.
Okay. So I'll tell you this one right here. This is kind of like a crazy pick to throw out there, but it's maybe a potential pick for you. Because I already know.
I have my pick.
Okay. Well, I'll throw this one at you. Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods, yeah. That counts as a YouTuber.
Yeah. And he's not a bad looking guy.
Not a bad looking guy.
Not a bad looking guy. Maybe a little on the short side.
I mean, he's about my height.
Maybe a little on the short side.
Yeah, maybe a little on the short side.
Oh, man. All right. So my pick is going to come down between one of two men. And I think I know which one I'm going with. But we'll talk about both of them.
Okay.
Just to throw it out there. I mentioned them before we started rolling on this, so I think you won't be surprised when I bring up Rhett and Link from Good Mythical
All right,
Morning.
I got you.
All right. So
I like if you're gotta go with one, I think you gotta go with Link.
with Link,
Because Rhett, like the beard thing. Sometimes that beard's kind of grody.
sometimes it is,
But sometimes girls like that.
But sometimes it's kind of got that like lumberjack appeal to it. You know what I mean? Whereas Link, like at his best, is like maybe cute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's got really nice hair. Sometimes I think I lean more towards Link's hair
Yeah.
in this. If you've seen like more of a modern Link look,
Yes.
I know back in the day he kind of had like
He had this.
emo
He had the
thing.
skater boy thing.
You know, but I like his hair a little bit more now than Rhett's. But I don't know, as far as like a total package, I think that Rhett's probably got the more like manly, sexier kind of thing going on. And so I'm gonna have to go with Rhett McLaughlin.
You're gonna go with Rhett. I've got my pick. I don't even know if you've heard of him. And it's I'm kind of gonna also not only go for people who have eyeballs. I'm going multicultural with this. Okay? I'm going with Eugene from the Try Guys.
Woo. Okay. Oh man, I'm done. I've been defeated. He didn't even go ironic on this one.
Well,
Eugene from the Try Guys versus Rhett McLaughlin from Good Mythical Morning. Who will win? Who will lose? Or will No Star Reviews come up from beneath and take them both out? We don't know. No Star Reviews, the challenge has been issued. You have until Sunday, so basically tomorrow night, to release a photograph of yourself so that we can put it on our Twitter page and let the world decide. Right?
it's up to America. It's up to the world.
It's up to America and the world at this point. So
That is it for this episode. Thank you guys for checking it out.
if you enjoyed this episode, make sure that you smash like on this video. Can we get 10 likes on this video? Is that how much do we usually get? Like one?
I don't know. Like maybe 3 or 4.
All right, can we smash 10 likes on this video? That'll be the goal. And then make sure you subscribe to Buddy Candela if you haven't already. Like I said earlier, hop on over to my channel, Dynamite Jared. It should be linked in the description. I think
Yes.
Buddy still does that. I don't do that for him because I'm lazy, but I mention him at the end of all my videos almost. So
Yeah.
make sure you hop over, subscribe to my channel, smash like on my videos.
And that's about it. We will
Follow us on Twitter.
follow us on Twitter.
At
and-
Dynamite Jared, at Buddy Candela.
Yes.
It doesn't get much easier than that.
Yes, and we will see you guys next time.
Peace. Oh, wait. We have been two nerds.
This
has been a podcast. I'm going to get that championship.
Next week, maybe.